Our first spec house was a huge success. We pre-sold that house.
Minimal Living Concepts is really the first entity that we started when we had come out here.
And it was just overall extremely well received by the marketplace.
And over time became the largest guest home builder in Arizona.
Our second spec project we just sold $6.5 million. Arizona was built on like master planning, track home, cheaper, faster, volume. And so that's the thing here that we desperately lack. We have a knack for that sort of luxury aesthetic, the branding, the feel, and designing something that's truly unique in a marketplace that desperately needs it. This is just the beginning.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of The Standard with Braydon. Very excited. I got Jared and Zander on with me. Gentlemen, thanks for joining me today.
Totally.
Thanks for having us.
Jared and Zanders are the owners of Minima and Minimal Living Concepts here in the Valley. Developers here just doing some amazing stuff, and excited to kind of share with you guys their journey and kind of everything that they're accomplishing. Tell everybody a little bit about the two concepts that you guys have rolled out and kind of how you guys are kind of revolutionizing the development world here in Scottsdale.
Yeah, totally. So Minimal Living Concepts. So there's two brands that we have now. Minimal Living Concepts is really the first entity that we started when we had come out here. And that was really just to kind of break into the development space, learn the business. And so basically what we did was launch a guest home building company, an ADU company, and grew that over time. And so with that, that just really threw me off for a second. With that, we basically established that company and over time became the largest guest home builder in Arizona. With that, we do all of the design, planning, permitting, construction, all the marketing, all the sales, everything in our office. And then that kind of evolved into our luxury home company, Minima Homes. And with that, again, very similar thing. We do all of the design, engineering, architecture, planning, permitting, construction, sales, everything in our office. We've been doing that for about 2 years now, maybe 3 years. And now we're starting to expand that arm of our company, expand our team. And it's been an incredible, 6 years that we've been here now.
Love it. Yeah, so you guys started off with Minimal, and you guys have done hundreds of guest houses now in the Valley, and transitioned into the spec homes. And how's that transition gone?
I think it's gone great. Our first spec house was a huge success. It was a very unique house. It was priced right around, thank you. Yeah, it was priced right around $3 million. We pre-sold that house. First people really that came in and walked the house, bought it from us about 2-3 months before we were finished with construction. And it was just overall extremely well received by the marketplace. A lot of the, real estate professionals in the Valley kind of took notice and were like, dang, this is awesome. And they hadn't seen that from us because they were used to the ADUs, and the ADUs are very much a product, and they're very systematic, and they're price sensitive. And really, I think what we learned going through that whole process is like, we have a knack for that sort of luxury aesthetic, the branding, the feel, and designing something that's truly unique in a marketplace that desperately needs it. There's just so much.
Yeah.
Talk about kind of your design edge, because I feel like you guys have like a very unique look. I mean, we talked a little bit about it. It's kind of, honestly, it's sexy with kind of the style and aesthetics in which you guys have kind of put forth into your designs.
Yeah. If you're
Who's the visionary? How do you guys kind of create those?
If you're looking for like traditional farmhouse, we're not for you. Not that we don't do traditional designs. I think we're actually pulling a lot of that into our more recent stuff. But we're trying to create like a resort residential sort of experience where it just doesn't feel like the typical house. Mm-hmm. And I think one of the interesting things about the like luxury home marketplace here, and I come from California and selling luxury homes there, and it's just like when you're in LA has a lot of issues, but if you're in LA, there's the thing that is not an issue is like there is just an abundance of great design. Even if you go buy a little bungalow in Inglewood, mm-hmm. It was like remodeled by some chick who's, a designer part-time, and she did an exceptional job and was meticulous. And like, there's just a lot of that sort of design spirit there.
Yeah, things that really stand out there. And,
And Arizona was built on like master planning, subdivision, track home, cheaper, faster, volume. And so that's the thing here that we like desperately lack. Yeah. And what we see, and I think the people who are sort of gravitating towards our product, the thing that they see is like everything on the market is the same. And it's shocking how high up the price ladder that seems to feel. I mean, you can see $4, $5, $6 million homes, and you're like, this is.
Looks like the same flipper
it's the
across
same
the
Bedrosian tile. It's
because a lot of it
decor.
too,
it's like
it seems, especially with the flips, is there is no designer involved. It's the contractor going in who's doing the work and saying, "Great, we're going to throw
same exact stuff that we did in the last 10 houses.
Same thing. Let's get it done fast and get it out the door."
And even if there is a designer, it's like it's the same 3 designers in town, and they kind of have the same look, and like things just start to get really stale. So for us, just from inception, it was super important to us that we control the design. We have our own design in-house, our own interiors, our own architecture, and like we control that, because just through doing that, we're going to create an aesthetic that can't really be replicated. And we have seen people starting to kind of steal and pull stuff that we're doing, which is flattering. But the point is, like, ultimately there's kind of a special sauce that happens through the work in our office that results in this end product that's special and unique, and people consistently bring that up when they walk through our projects.
Yeah, I mean, when I went and toured your guys' one that you sold, like you said, like 2 months prior to or whatever, and you guys did that open house just to kind of show everybody, it was just, it's got like a warm feel to it, almost like you could touch everything and you're going to have a different feel, like everything's kind of textured, and it was unique, and it felt very clean, very, I don't know, high end and unique. Something like you were like a resort, like you mentioned, like you would go stay in Cabo, like a high end Four Seasons or something like that. It kind of felt like something like that.
Yeah, and the warm part is like the thing that people sort of speak to a lot, because in Scottsdale, you're just so used to like the lowest grade modern possible, where it's like this Vegas white box, LED strips, it's black, it's white, it's, it's like, it's just the lowest common denominator of what modern architecture and design should be.
Yep.
And what a lot of people haven't experienced here is that just because it's a modern house doesn't mean it can't have soul and feel like a family environment and feel cozy and warm and be a place you want to rest and feel like a home.
Yep.
And so that's something for us that like will always be consistent across our product. Even if we're doing the most modern house, it's going to feel like a house. It's going to feel like home, so.
Clients of yours, what's kind of their expectations from you guys for these builds? What's kind of timeline you're putting on them for both minimal and minima?
Yep.
What's kind of
if we're doing a spec build for ourselves, those tend to move a lot faster. Anything without a client will move faster because the client needs time to make decisions and, get used to the materials that they're choosing and go through the floor plan and so on. So I would say when we're controlling a build, a spec build for all of the design, planning, and permitting, it's usually about 7 months. And then depending on the size of the house, we'll be somewhere between like 10 to 12 months for the construction. Once you have a client involved, I would say minimum, it's going to add probably 2 months to that and if they are real slow decision makers or just they're not as decisive, it could be a little bit longer. But I would say on the front end, just to the design process, it'll add something like 2 months, and then the rest of the process should go the same.
What's been the easier or worse cities to work with here in the Valley?
I mean, Phoenix is pretty simple and straightforward. I would say Scottsdale and Paradise Valley are as well, though Paradise Valley has a little more intricate, zoning.
Paradise Valley is great to deal with. It's like a small team. You can go in.
You can walk right in.
The phone. You can walk right in. They're awesome. They just have some more design restrictions, especially when it comes to like the grade of their sites. Like if something has a little slope, like it starts to limit you. Honestly, again, I come from California, so every city here is an upgrade. Gilbert is the hardest to deal with because they're just like, we don't want ADUs. We don't want new houses. We want everything master plan feel, whatever. So they have for sure been challenging.
Yep.
And honestly, what's been kind of funny is like all this new ADU code to try to make ADUs more like friendlier.
I was just going to ask you about that.
It's just completely complicated. There's more factors. Yes, technically you have like more room to work with, but now there's like this whole new level of scrutiny.
It's not like it's made it meaningfully easier.
No,
if anything, it's the same, just with a little bit different, where different cities or towns have made their own considerations to apply with the law.
Yep.
Where before they were like, what are we calling this? A pool house of this or that? And you could kind of just make it work. Now it's like, there's just created this like level of rigidity that I think had an adverse effect.
Just to speak to that though, about like who is the hardest to deal with, because I know that is something that, if especially if you have a contractor who you're dealing with, who's dealing with your permits, they're gonna tell you it's so hard, and they're not answering, and it's the hardest thing in the world. Realistically, no one is that hard to deal with. No city or no town is that complicated to deal with. It's all really pretty straightforward. It's just a matter of, do you have a responsible team or a responsible, project lead that is managing your design, your architecture, your permits, getting the revisions turned around, paying attention to the timelines, communicating with the city properly. If you have someone who is dealing with it in a competent way, none of them are that complicated, and it is not rocket science at all. It's actually pretty simple. For Scottsdale, for example, and many of these municipalities, they have standard timelines that they're working on for their permits. You submit it, we're going to get you answers within 35 days.
Got it.
And then you do your revisions for 10 days. But people get those back. One, they're submitting, incomplete documents. They're not paying attention to when the revisions come back. Then revisions that should take 2 weeks, they're taking 2 months to get them turned around and back in.
Know the revisions hit their inbox like 2 weeks past, and they're like, "Oh crap!
Right.
No, and then longer on this round,
right?"
And we're just like, "Dude, it's BS."
And then the client doesn't have visibility into that stuff, and so the contractor, whoever's dealing with it, they can say whatever they want. I hear crazy things from people where they'll go, "What do you mean? Like, yeah, in Phoenix, we've been waiting 9 months for our permits."
And we're like, "There's just no world.
There's no world.
They literally have timelines that they're supposed to be adhering to."
Yes.
Kind of thing.
Yeah. But they don't have visibility into that.
If they're not adhering to their timeline, you go right up the chain of command and you can get a direct email to Sue Wood and say, "Hey, there's a problem here. I need to get on a video call with you."
Yeah.
She will get a call scheduled with you in 48 hours.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's just, there's just a lot of, that's the
nuance to actually,
that's the place where, timelines go to die, because contractors and architects, it's the perfect scapegoat for management. Yeah. It took longer this time, guys. So weird. They've been
finishing this project over here, but
exactly. I didn't open the file and see that I had revisions that were sent to me a week ago. And
the one thing you're never going to hear from the contractor or architect in that process is, "I blew it. I totally just missed this thing, and I'm going to take accountability for it."
And that's a huge value add that you guys bring, right? Is start to finish.
Transparency.
Right.
Yeah. And we manage everything. And so, which on our end, it helps a lot, because that was something we learned early on too, is the more that we can control, the less we're going to have, those excuses from architects or from builder contractors, from whoever. We own everything. So we're ultimately accountable and responsible for everything. And we also can control whether it goes well or does not go well. Yep. It's on us. And so,
yeah, I think honestly, it's pretty awesome that you guys probably started with minimal, just because you got to learn so much from just streamlining so many of those projects. Now that you know it, and like you name dropped that lady. I don't know who the hell that is, but obviously you got somebody you could call now, and you have resources for these bigger projects now. And I'm sure that just sourcing of the product, sourcing of the team, having everybody in line for your contractors, your interior design, everything now, it's probably just kind of streamlining on these big builds, I would imagine.
The repetition of just doing project after project after project, where you're still going through on a smaller level, but you're still going through the exact same process as a home. You're still doing all of the design, the engineering, the permitting, the construction, pouring the foundation, framing it up. Everything is still all new construction. You're going through it in an 8-month timeline instead of a 18-month total timeline. But just the repetition of going through it, schedules, managing subcontractors, so on, was just like a perfect, proving training ground.
Yeah. And you hear a lot of entrepreneurs talk about fail as much as you can, as fast as you can, as early in the kind of building of a company as you can. And it's when you think about most contractors, let's say a home building contractor, even a remodeler, your average home builder, maybe they build 1, 2, 3 homes a year. Your average kitchen remodeler, maybe they do one project every couple months. We started our business doing 30, 40 projects a year. And like Jared said, managing every single part of the process. So we condensed our learning curve so dramatically that we meet guys who have been contractors for 25 years. We've done more projects than them, right? So we're very fortunate to have started that way. And it wasn't by design. It just kind of happened.
Anything that you contribute to kind of why minimal blew up the way it did?
Advertising and branding.
Yeah, advertising, branding for sure. And also just, we were the first to do what we were doing in the Valley. Nobody was doing ADUs before us. And so when people started getting ads of like, oh, this is a whole new concept that no one really had considered here, I think that stood out. And because ADUs are kind of a resource for everybody, it's like, we're actually a resource for builders who don't want to deal with the guest house. We're a resource for agents who need an extra room for their client. It sort of just appealed to everyone. And then we've stood by our brand, we've stood by our business, we've done great work, and we've showed a consistent progression of getting better and better and better with each year. So, how you guys have evolved the models, evolved the website, you just kind of keeping it fresh and relevant. And it's been impressive. You guys should be proud.
Thanks. Yeah, it's super fun.
Talk about some of the upcoming projects.
We have a lot of
Norte's that we just sold.
Yeah,
so our second spec project we just sold, $6.5 million, pre-sold it. Very similar to exactly what happened with Rosa Blanca, which Rosa Blanca we hadn't even put on the market. It sold through our Instagram. An agent saw it. I have to show this to my client. Cool, come by. Norte, exact same thing happened. And so we've been very fortunate to pre-sell. And again, it goes back to the brand and kind of everything we've established over the last 5 years. So that house is phenomenal, and just pre-sold. And then we've got, actually first in the pipeline, we've got a couple custom client builds, an incredible house in Paradise Valley that's like 9,000 square foot livable. Is
awesome.
I think it's like award-winning level.
Cool.
House.
Glad to see that.
We're doing a house in
Cactus Corridor
that's going to be spectacular.
That was the one you showed me.
That was one I showed you before.
Yeah. Smaller house, 4,600 square feet, very modern, but really cool, really unique.
Then we have a spec.
Yeah, that's the next really exciting one is a spec project that we just basically fully funded, and that's in the Mariana Estates neighborhood, kind of behind Global Ambassador.
Awesome.
Really hot neighborhood right now. That house is going to be spectacular. So,
and then we have another client build after that.
Yeah.
And then ADUs all going in the meantime.
Of course. Yeah.
Yep.
Not shutting that down.
Yeah. No, we're not shutting that down. What we have done is kind of like we're definitely
more selective
with who we work with for the ADUs. And also, a good amount of our time and energy is now going towards these custom homes. And so there's a balance to them now.
In the last 24 months, there's been several copycat companies that have popped up that literally took our renderings, took our images, like our copyright, like our text, like just blatantly like copied exactly what we're doing.
I love that.
Yeah. I mean, we messaged some of them. We're like, dude, yo,
come on.
Like this is 95% our.
Hey, I tweaked this a little bit.
Literally it was that.
Yeah.
And we actually,
but they'll just copy the website,
and we publicly called it out on Instagram, and one of them was like, okay, yo, we're
sorry about that.
Blah, blah. But there's just been this new thing. And not only that, every contractor now wants to do ADUs because they haven't done enough of them yet.
Yeah.
They don't realize how hard it is. They think it's going to be super easy. And so.
But that was something we saw too with clients, where they would come to us and we would give them a quote, and they'd be like, oh, this other contractor, came, this is their company, and they gave me this quote for it. And we would look at the quote and we would just easily look at it and go, that's wrong.
Yeah.
They're getting into this new. Right.
That's not factored in here. You're going to get smoked in this project.
Yeah.
This is not what it's going to end up costing.
Yep.
If you want to work with uncertainty and someone who told you this number and it's going to change and you're going to be ripping your hair out, great. We're going to tell you the real number. We're not perfect. Of course, there's subtle change orders that can occur, but we're going to be within 98% of where we told you we were going to be typically.
Yep.
And so there's just this demographic of people that go, I actually still don't care. I want to dream that it's going to cost $100,000 less, even though I'm going to get killed.
Yep.
And it happens all the time. And then there's also just people who are like really sloppy Joe Schmo contractors who are like, yeah, I actually can build you a shit box for very, very cheap.
Because I have no overhead.
And we're just not.
And I'm, maybe they're self-performing something like that.
Yeah. Like
the other thing though, for people to be like careful of is like the contract that you're signing with a contractor. Often people will sign things and not read them. I read everything that we sign. Once you're locked into that, they can start hitting you with change orders, things that you're obligated to pay. You're not getting your money back from before. And then it becomes this sunken cost thing of you just have to get through it with them.
Yep.
They have a lot of control and a lot of protection just naturally with laws, even without their contract, then their contract will add even more on top of that. And so, once you commit to something with someone, you're kind of locked in. And if it's going to cost $100 more grand, it's going to cost $100 more grand.
Right.
And,
there's very little recourse for you as a homeowner.
Yeah.
Sure. What's most exciting for you guys? What's on the horizon?
I think just the new projects we're working on, and I think also just the way that the sort of home brand or sister brand has been received has been really exciting. And I think we're getting to a place as a business where the credibility is there. Yep. And it's amazing how long that takes to really establish, especially when you're talking about a luxury product. Yep. And I think we're just getting there. Someone like you, you've been following us from the beginning, and you're like, yo, these guys are killing and da-da-da. But from our position, in a weird way, and we kind of say this every year. Yeah, we feel like we're just getting started. Yep. And we're like, this is just the beginning, So that for us is very motivating and exciting.
That's the mindset that could continue to perpetuate you in the direction that you guys are going, right? And so that's the same thing. I wake up every day going, man, I'm not accomplishing shit. I haven't done anything. I got to do more. And then it forces us to do more and continue to brainstorm and create new ideas, right? And continue to evolve, continue to create new brands. And it's you guys should be proud. I know I already mentioned that, but it's been really fun to watch, especially from you. I mean, Jared and I grew up in high school together, had some good times back in the day.
Yeah.
Seeing kind of where you and I are at today has been really awesome. And it's really great to see kind of where some of our friends have gone. And nothing makes me happier than seeing some of our friends just crushing it. And so it's been awesome to watch.
Yeah,
so,
I totally agree. And it's been really fun.
Yes. Great to meet you, and it's been awesome to kind of get to know you over the years. And
absolutely.
Same thing, you've done wonders for this guy, and I'm sure he's grateful for the partnership as well.
We make a great team.
You do. You do.
We complement each other very well.
You guys do. For everybody, you want to leave a little last minute message for everybody, kind of with Minimal and
check out Minima Homes. That's the kind of the home brand website. So if you want to see projects we're working on, some upcoming stuff that's maybe not on our Instagram, check that out. Definitely follow our Instagram. A lot of our website stuff is just the pretty pictures, but the Instagram, we get really in depth of how the project's getting built, specific details. So if you're into construction and design, our Instagram is a must follow.
Jared?
Same. Yeah. Go check out our Instagram. You can get to Minimal Living Concepts through that. You can get to Minima through that. And the Instagram you'll see everything
by Minima, by Minima.
Yeah. You'll see everything going on in our company, all the ADU stuff, all the custom home stuff, all the spec home stuff, everything's on there.
Love it. Gents, thank you again. Thanks for sticking around for another episode of The Standard with Braydon, and stick around for more to come. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.